All right, cool. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 7th installment of Chaos Under Heaven. I'm your host, fellow traveler, and today I'm joined by two very special comrades, Comrade Matt and Jason Unruhe. And today we are going to be talking about current events in the world, much of the chaos underneath heaven, or the riots and the recent shooting that happened down in Wisconsin. And then afterwards, we're going to have a little chat with you guys, maybe watch one or two PragerU videos for the walls, and yeah, it's going to be a really good time. So, guys, how's your evening going so far?
I'm doing fine.
I'm all right. I'm all right, but I haven't been doing good at all. Just to be honest.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope that things get better, and yeah, I don't know. If we ever meet up in person, we should meditate sometime or something. I don't know.
Totally. And I want to fight. I'll be honest. I want to fight.
You want to fight like boxing, man?
No. Like I want to push back. I want to bring back Pantherism, man. Like I'm a Bundist. I want to bring back like resistance. I want to bring back the civil rights movement. I don't want the Radlets to fucking take it.
Oh yeah, no, fuck no, fuck the Radlet. All right, so I'm looking at the comments. I'm not seeing any glow ops yet, but I have a strong suspicion that as the stream goes on, right wingers are gonna fucking shit this shit up. I'm serious. Like, I actually have comments. Like, I told you guys about this off stream, but I've actually got some comments on my most recent video, and it's like I was making book recommendations, and you know, not even 20 minutes in, there's this comment with like 6 or 7 likes on it, and he's recommending neo-Nazi literature, and like you've got all these other guys shilling in for this dude, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just ban you. Fuck it. So
I have heard this with the Bolsheviks and Wall Street thing before, and basically, it's like a sourceless claim.
Even if it's true, Wall Street had a deeply vested interest in destabilizing the Tsarist regime, and the whole goal was to tear the country apart because they were competition during World War I. So it's just ridiculous to me to think that like the Bolsheviks were really like in on this like Jew commie conspiracy with Wall Street connection ties or whatever to me, just because of the simple fact that like right after the Reds took power, they were immediately invaded by like 14 or 15 countries from the imperial bloc. But anyways, got some stuff I want to share with you guys. So, what do you guys know about the what's happened in Wisconsin?
Well, obviously, there's pretty much the mask has come off on the alliance between fascist militias and the police. I mean, there's the video of the kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, working with the police officers, and the police officers protecting him and protecting other militia members, etc. So I think that whole, law and order and justice thing, well, I mean, we kind of already knew that wasn't really the case, but I think that the truth about that has already accelerated.
Yeah, it's been known for years that there's been collaboration and even like integration with like these neo-Nazi and like white supremacist groups. I posted in your comment section, some of those who work forces are the same that burn crosses, and it's totally true. Like, and the thing is that it's like the perfect breeding ground for reaction, because what is the job of the cops? It's literally to repress people. It's literally to like crack down on people lashing out against the system, and then you have like nobody has their back. Like you've got the media that's like faux shitting on the cops. Like the media, I mean, the media is going to say what they're going to say just to sensationalize things. If there's money in demonizing the cops, they're going to do it. So, like, it's within the material interest of the media to do it, and they don't feel like anybody has their backs besides each other. But hey, here's these rednecks over here like, yeah, law and order, man. We got to keep those uppity Negroes down, you know, we like what you're doing, you know. You've got no other alliances, but you've got these, you know, fashy motherfuckers on the side that don't approve of the Black Lives Matter protests. So they're just gonna, you know, they're gonna take what they can get. Anywho.
I definitely think that there's an element there that says that the media, as a representative of the bourgeoisie, are telling them, hey, this is kind of going too far. You got to stop doing this because it's not helping.
Can I tell you what I think is about to happen? What I know has already happened.
All right.
What's that?
All right. So the cops killed 5 of my comrades last year. A lot of people tried to either bullshit Jason and say that he was making it up or that I was hoaxing it. Isn't that true, Jason? We were literally fucking hounded by people for like a month and a half or afterwards.
Yes.
It slowly went away. And what started letting it away, I think, is shit kept happening to black people and to trans people and to you felt it building up. Remember, Jason, you did a 5-part anti-colonialism series. I wish more people would watch that. Yeah. Some shit's been building up. Like Jason should fill in more of what I mean by that so that I don't say too much because I don't want to accidentally get people to
it was oh no, the police didn't go ahead and kill these people and get rid of them and then now what do we see? Cops rolling up in unmarked vans, just snatching away protesters. So yeah, it kind of does happen.
Yeah. Another thing is you see the black bagging occur, but you haven't really seen outright massacres by the cops. I have a suspicion that right-wing terror is going to be ramped the fuck up. I mean, it's going to be falsely correlated with Trump, but the real reason why is because intelligence agencies like actively embed white supremacy and terror, and the reason being is because they do the work that the legal government isn't able to do. Like, think about it. You get a white supremacist with his gun and he guns down people in the streets and he unleashes that terror, you know, the media is going to talk about that and so on. But if a cop does it, it's going to delegitimize the police to their right to rule of law. And that's one of the ways that the cops maintain control. And if people lose faith in the cops and their ability to enforce rule of law, then the whole thing comes crumbling down, which is one of the reasons why they're depending on these, you know, these fascist groups to do some of that, you know, extrajudicial illegal work on their behalf. You know, like what was it in the video we're going to review in a second? You've got like the police in like a tank, and they're like passing water bottles out to these white nationalist militia dudes that were from out of state. And after this kid shot and killed a couple people, they like let him flee. They just like, they're like, well, we had tunnel vision, you know, he just sort of slipped by. So they like quietly let him escape after shooting a couple people. And, you know, he turns up in Illinois, like immediately gets caught. Ha, fuck you, kid. Anyways, I definitely think that there's an element of illegality, and there's a reason why, what's the saying, cops and the Klan go hand in hand. Have you guys heard that one?
No, it's true, actually. In fact, the Klan and the FBI go hand in hand. The FBI actually went in to infiltrate the Klan, and the Klan ended up infiltrating the FBI. That's fact. I'm sorry. It is a thing that happened. Just like the CIA is, in fact, a combination of the OSS and the Gestapo. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is public information. I'm tired. Why I'm tired of conspiracy theories? Okay, there are conspiracies. They happen. Maybe you believe it was JFK. Maybe you believe it was 9/11. I actually don't care. I'm so apathetic. I don't fucking care if those were conspiracies. But I will say this. You don't need conspiracy theories. Public information and studying things like Danny Castellero or the Iran-Contra affair, you realize right then, oh shit, the Panthers were right. There is a King Alfred plan. And I think that the people who really started it in motion, they're dying. And the younger elites are kind of buffoonish, and I kind of like that. I think the state is decaying, and I think that that's why we're seeing fascism.
Fascism is capitalism in decay.
Vladimir Lenin.
Yeah, it's just kind of stupid. Well, in a sense, I kind of hope Biden gets elected. In a way, part of me kind of does, because that way, when these white supremacist terror attacks get ramped the fuck
I
up.
refuse to vote because I consider it unprincipled and participation in pure fucking unfettered evil. But I actually hope Trump gets it.
No,
I won't vote, but I hope it's Trump.
You misunderstand me. I'm not advocating for either candidate. I'm simply saying that part of me kind of hopes Biden will win. That way, all the rat libs that are chilling for him for the harm reduction standpoint can go, eat crow 4 years down the line. Because, what are they going to say when Biden's in power? All this mass repression is going on, and you've got all these white supremacist orgs that are being embedded by the fucking FBI and like the CIA and the cops. Like, what are they going to say then? I thought the Democrats were supposed to stop white supremacy, but here they are ramping up the police state, increasing funding to the cops.
Okay. No, I get that. Is it okay if I provided a different spin on that? This is interesting. You're speaking my language now. I've been thinking about both sides of this all the time. It's like, because I'm not going to vote. I refuse to. But I'm like, neither one looks like a way out. We finally reached that point. And I'm like, if we finally reach that point, I refuse to vote. And I hate every fucking thing Trump's doing. But Trump is such a buffoon. And he keeps fucking ousting the government. I'm like, oh, please stay in there. Please stay in there. For the first time ever, we have an American president that represents America. Finally. Trump is America. I love it. It's going to crash this way.
Yeah, no. Watching Donald Trump's presidency is like watching the Roman Empire collapse on fast forward. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Donald Trump is America's Commodus. He's like the last great leader before just the steady downward glide. Circling the drain, so to speak. Anyways, there are a couple comments that I want to check out.
I wanted to answer somebody's comments. I mean, you go ahead, but there was some thing I promised I'd answer.
All right. Which one is it? We'll go to that one first.
About the 3 arrows. I'd like to explain what the 3 arrows really are about and why.
Right. Yeah, this one.
All right. The 3 arrows belong to Antifa, but they didn't originally. Actually, they belonged to a rival group that we used to beat up. It was the Social Democratic Party of Germany, I believe. It was the ones that wanted to preserve the Weimar Republic. That's where the 3 arrows come from. We stole that from them, and we're proud of the fact that we stole it from them. Because this is what it is. Back then, Social Democrats used to actually beat people up. They would beat up fascists, but they'd also beat up communists. But they were they were trying to preserve a country that cannot be saved. Beautiful part about it, beautiful thing. There are no liberals in America. There's just the rad libs now, the radical liberals, which are stupid. They're the same as the SJW and the alt-right are two sides of the same right wing, not one in the center even. The real centrists are the progressives. Progressives are not very hostile. This is a beautiful and unexpected turn of events that has occurred. And I'm not saying I'll be honest, I'm pissed off. If I'm scared, sure. I think we're all scared. But to me, I began it in action because I'm scared. I'm too scared not to do anything. And I realized there's nothing to be scared of. This state can't manage the situation. So the 3 arrows, and I've been organizing this with the anarchists, and I've been I'm hoping to now organize it with with particularly Maoist, but Marxists in general, as long as you're with Lenin. And I have my disagreements with Lenin, but I respect the Leninist position. Leninists don't fuck around with fascists, from what I've never seen them fuck around with like a real Leninist, ever. And you definitely don't see the Maoists do that shit. And so, from a Bundist point of view, I'm like, yeah, okay, I want to work with communists. I want to work with the freaking communists. Like, the communists don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with them. We're both socialists. I mean, ironically, when the communists listen to Bundists, we are easier to reach, logically, than a Trotskyist or an anarchist. And there's reasons for that. But one of the big reasons is it has a lot to do with the legacy of fighting Hitler.
All right, so I have this is a question I've been wanting to address for a minute. I'm glad that you brought this up. Here, one of these people in Kenosha who got shot was a pedo, true or false? Okay, so right now the right wing is in full damage control. You will find them in literally the comment sections of every video covering this topic literally ever. I'm surprised the Nazis aren't in the in the chat at this very moment. But this is sort of like the same thing they did with George Floyd, where they're like, yeah, well, it may be wrong, but he was no saint, as though that really justifies murdering a person in cold blood. Like, like imagine that. Imagine like you get shot dead in the streets, like randomly, and then immediately after you're dead, while the issue's being politicized, people go and try and go back like 10, 15, 20 years to dig up dirt to try and find like your Achilles heel or something that you've done wrong, just so they can demonize you and say that you being murdered was justified. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at this either. Like, bro, I think the CIA planted fake criminal records after the fact. All the victims had big criminal records, suspicious as fuck. They want to make these people look bad. So, oh yeah, no. Like I said, cops and the Klan go hand in hand. No, don't be surprised. Like, the right wing is in full damage control right now. Damage control mode.
I think this is the CIA.
Yeah, had past offense for sexual misconduct in 202 at 18 years old. Yeah, and for that he deserved to die.
I agree.
But I mean, here's something that is kind of thing. So let's say somebody has a criminal record for whatever. So that means the police have a license to carry out summary execution. So what does that mean? The principles of justice of innocent until proven guilty, or to be arrested and charged and go through the legal process, no longer applies to you because you've been charged with something before. Like what is that? I mean, you're just basically abandoning the fundamental principles of justice that you claim to stand for because you stand with the police, right?
Another corner, another aspect of this, that's kind of fucked up is like in the wake of people trying to demonize the people that got shot. This kid has a criminal record, apparently. I don't have the tweet on me, but apparently he actually does have a criminal record. What's his name? Kyle what?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Tten House.
Are we actually going to go through the graphics scenery? We can if you want, but I want to know if we're doing that or not.
We will. We're going to go through it. I just want to find this guy.
I just will let you know that I will just let you know that shit's making me angry every time I see it. I mean, I'll watch it though. I'll watch it, but like
Kyle Rittenhouse. I know for a fact that he has a criminal record. I saw a tweet about it forever ago. All right.
I think he was in coordination with the cops 100%. And I do think that there is an at-home CIA operation going on. I don't know if there is, but that's my suspicion. I'm not going to make claims I don't have proof for, but I suspect it. You saw it. They saw what he did when they were coming, if you watch the footage.
Here it is. Kyle Rittenhouse has a criminal record. So the Sun is claiming that this myth has been explained. No, this myth has been explained. Okay, let's check it out. All right, cool. So apparently this is the tweet. Hi, Jason. Misdemeanor. So let's see. Charge dismissed but read on. Not guilty. Misdemeanor. So possessing drugs, failure to obey. So it's minor shit, but
yeah, I thought it was going to be so much more impressive.
Yeah. Nah, he's just some dumbass 17-year-old with a rifle. That's all. But
I do believe he was in cahoots with the cops, though. Like if you saw the whole thing, right, where he had his hands up and he said, "I ain't shooting you, buddy," and they saw that he shot people. They saw what he did, man. Like the way, like if you watch it through, there's something very off about the police's behavior with him. And I'm not surprised. I'm just trying to point out, I don't see how the cops are not directly involved in this.
Yeah. Well, whether or not he has a criminal record, I don't know. Someone's saying that this was pulled from somebody who, a different Kyle Rittenhouse. But, I mean, what are the odds of that? Whatever. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this
I'm
video
ready.
that somebody made. Yeah, this is it. So this was on YouTube, but it got taken down. Rest in power to the fallen. You guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay. Warning, graphic video in spots ahead. This is about yada yada yada. You guys can read.
Traveler, make sure your stuff doesn't get shut down. Any patriots willing to take up arms and defend?
Yeah, we'll go back.
Any patriots willing to take up arms and defend out city tonight? Looks like out instead of our, but whatever. Out city tonight from the evil thugs. No doubt they are currently planning on the next part of the city to burn tonight.
Yeah, I'll gladly die a glorious death to keep the red line from going down further. I'd more than love to die for Speedway's profits. I'm going to protect this gas station and drive across state boundaries to stop these uppity Negroes, you know? And then, you know...
Actually, I see people talk like that. Don't do that. I see people that talk like that out in real life, man. Like, I do.
Well, I'm making fun of that.
No, I know. It's just funny because they sound that... I don't want to say the R word, so I'll just say they sound that not right in the head or not higher brain functioning. They sound like really dumbed down. I'll tell you what, man, those Antifa terrorists come around here, I'll do something. I'm walking right by, and they're not even looking at me. Like, these guys don't even fucking know what they're looking for.
They're fucking, they're just ignorant, scared people that don't know jack about shit. One thing I will say is I am sympathetic to the small businesses because in a lot of cases, like, they're just working people like you and me half the time. I'm sympathetic. I think it's uncool if you're going to burn down a small business, unless like that small business owner is
Here's the community rule that we have out here with that. We don't mess with the petty bourgeois mom and pop shops ever. But to truly know that we're friends, when we start taking over neighborhoods and we put out the police, and to know which petty bourgeoisie on your side will depend on which ones will hide us when Nazis are chasing us. That works. That works. That works. There are people that will hide you.
The petty bourgeois are kind of a toss-up as a class because they exist as a continuum between workers and owners. They don't make enough off of labor exploitation to truly be full-fledged capitalists. They still have to submit to labor for income, so to speak. They're just self-employed, more or less. So based on my analysis, historically, they have been like the backbone of many like reactionary movements. But I mean, there are plenty of petty bourgeois that will support a socialist movement. Just don't wreck their fucking shop, you know. That's really it.
Some of them will do it for ideological reasons.
Yeah, many of them are liberal. Some of them are reactionary. I mean, this is what it is.
As you can see, they're. Do you have a good angle? Yeah, very cool. And you guys local or no? Yeah. Okay. Cool. No, we'll do this.
Person in the crowd.
So you have non-lethal, but you this was fun.
We don't have non-lethal.
You hear that? He's got live ammunition.
Good
there he is,
with
the cop, Kyle Rittenhouse, next to a cop.
He's right there. I mean, my God, man. I mean, come on.
No. That's not a cop. He's a militiaman. But you're gonna see here in a minute the. No, these are the two militia guys, but the police actually do like laud them for being there. You'll see it in a second.
You know that the militias out here, the white supremacist militias out here work with the police.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I believe it. They do the work that the cops can't. You hear that? Hey, thank you guys, man. Hey, you need water? We need a water. He's saying thank you to them. And in a second, he's like, really appreciate you guys coming out here. You guys ever see those compilation videos of like the cops slicing water bottles being carried by protesters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can I get a copy of that video somehow?
Yeah, no, I'll send it to you after this.
Thank you.
We got a couple. You got to save a couple, but we'll give you a couple.
They're asking for water. The cops are like, we got to save a couple, but we'll give you a couple.
We appreciate you guys. We really do.
See that?
You know what the cops told us today? They were like, we're going to push them down by you because you can deal with them. And then we're going to leave.
We're going to push them down by you. So they're moving the protesters towards these fucking reactionaries that are armed with live rounds. We're going to leave them to you, and you can deal with them. So the cops are indirectly or directly complicit in the murder of 2 people and the injury of another. That guy had to have his arm amputated, by the way. So wait, let me get this straight. The teenager's innocent. Guys, does this teenager sound very innocent to you? Just curious.
No, I see stuff like this happen out here. I saw it happen before George Floyd was murdered, which, by the way, in the same exact day out here in Arizona was the same day Deion Johnson was also killed. Another black person who died the same. He was black, but this is not like in the same day. They're both black. You know, what date did Floyd die?
I believe it was May 23rd. Yeah,
It's always May. It's always the May late 20s. That's interesting.
Yeah. No, May. Hold on a second. My alarm. Go on.
And on the same day, Deion Johnson, another black person, was killed out here in Arizona. Sparked its own protests. And last year, you know, we had the incident in Arizona, and Jared 88, the neo-Nazi, who killed my comrades, he was in complete cooperation with police. This is an ongoing thing. This was a thing. It's being beta tested. Like in Arizona, it was beta tested, and I think that they were preparing for Portland. I think something was bound to happen in Portland. Something will happen in Detroit. Something will happen in Chicago, because those are the big cities.
This is the thing that freaks me out, though. The police literally set up a kill zone for these protesters.
Yes.
And this is what happens next.
And then we're going to leave.
That's right. You're going to do the work that the cops can't, because they have to maintain the illusion of rule of law and enforcing the law. They have a mask to uphold, and the second they lose that, there will be anarchy. No offense to my anarchist followers.
No, I think you're just encouraging them.
So wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. This kid, they surrounded him in the parking lot. They got him from all angles. Guys, do you see like a large swarthy horde of BLM lynch mobs surrounding this kid? There's where he's at. Maybe we need to look at more angles. But based on what I see right here, I don't know, because I was getting some right-wingers telling me, oh, it was just self-defense, bro. Like, and the dude chucks a bottle at him, and then he just murders him in cold blood on the spot.
Here's a question. What is the mainstream media saying about this? I don't watch the mainstream. I haven't for years.
I haven't heard a fucking peep from mainstream media about this.
Now, here's the real question. Has the alternative media given this affair a bet at all in any way?
We are the alternative, dog. We're talking about it right now.
That's what I figured. Because I talked to Jason about this. As much as I love RT and Al Jazeera and shit, they're gonna twist this wrong too. Because that's actually in Russia's interests to. I don't blame Russia. I honestly don't, but it's in their interest for us to tear us apart out here. It honestly is. I think Jason thinks the same thing.
Well, yeah, we've got our nukes and our troops parked like right next door. Of course, it's
Yeah,
annoying.
you know, I don't care if the Russians try to invade. I do care about being manipulated. That's where I stand.
The problem is that Russia is no longer a progressive force. Being a rival capitalist power does not make you a progressive force for society. Now, if you go back 40, 50 years in time, then I wouldn't mind being invaded by Russia. But it's the fact that, you know, they're not socialist anymore. That's
No, but I think I'll be honest. I think Russia is actually ideologically fascist, and they're trying to provoke fascist America so that it will fall apart. Russia does want to be the hero.
Well, yeah,
You see, Russia's not socially imperialist. I mean, it was. I would theorize, and I can get into the theory of social imperialism with you. Right? There's reasons why I'm leanings.
Yeah.
But the point is, I will defend the Soviet Union even through that period on certain levels. I do believe that there's primary and secondary contradiction, but I also think there's something that might exist called equal contradiction or polar contradiction. I think that dialectics does go further. When you look back at the real history, it's very complicated. But what I'll say is Russia's not socially imperialist anymore. Now China is. What Russia is semi-imperialist. And from a semi-imperialist point of view, if you wanted to build up private armies, here's the thing. Russia is in its own idealism now. They themselves to be the real heroes against the fascists because they actually have that legacy. And if you really wanted to do it and you knew what America was, yeah, you'd strike an arrow because you're not going to let America fuck the world. You wouldn't want to hurt the people there, but you would if it meant saving the world. And I think that that's how Russia is. I think that Russian oligarchs are kind of crazy.
Let me rein this back into the topic at hand. Jason, are you with us? Are you still alive?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, because you haven't said anything. I didn't know if you dropped out or not.
No, I was just letting the video go.
Oh, okay. Guy chucks a bottle at him, chases him into a corner, and then guns him down. Oof. I don't know about you guys, but if someone throws a plastic bottle at me, I feel in danger. I feel threatened with my life. Like, I don't know, but with the velocity of the empty Coke bottle just be coming towards me, like, dude, like, that would give me PTSD. That would give me acid flashbacks. Like, I don't know about you guys, but that's fucking crazy. Have either of you guys had a plastic bottle thrown at you?
I did freak out once when somebody threw soda on me, but that's because I have a trauma of being drowned at one time. You know, I calmed down really quickly, but for a while I freak out, like for half an hour. Like, you try to fucking get me wet. It's a weird thing. So, I mean, I don't know if it means I'd pull a gun at somebody or shoot them.
Well, I've never had somebody with a gun throw a bottle at me.
Well, the unarmed dude threw a bottle at him, and then like he threw a.
I don't think it means you should shoot them. I mean,
it was a plastic bottle in a bag that he chucked at this kid, and then he proceeds to turn around and shoot him dead where he stands. And then this motherfucker, I mean, he's running away. He's getting chased by the crowd. He falls. Oh, shit.
who got all this footage?
People did. And this kid's just walking around gunning at people. Holy shit. Oh my, this is hell world. Oh my god.
This is Wisconsin. Do you know that there's rumors of that I've heard about a Wisconsin neo-Confederate army coming into militia coming into Wisconsin?
I haven't heard about it.
I mean, I heard about it a couple days ago, and I wonder if I've heard that somewhere else before.
And there the pigs are.
Hey, he just shot them! Hey, dude right here just shot them!
It was self-defense. He can go. If any of you tried to, you know, hold him down, that's mob justice, and we will proceed to shoot you down. We have to let him go. Clearly, this is self-defense, guys. You know, if I'm in an SUV and I run somebody over, and then, you know, that person's family gets angry and chases after me, and then I turn around and run another one of them over, and then drive away. Clearly, it was self-defense. Clearly, I was in the right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly. No, absolutely nothing wrong happened here. No.
It was self-defense. Antifa. All lives matter. Bono.
That dude just shot somebody. That dude right here.
Let him go. He's innocent.
See, but this is what I mean. They knew that he did it. They saw him. They you know.
Look at that! Oh my God! They're not even stopping to arrest him.
I know.
And he's waving to the. What do you mean tunnel vision? He's waving right at them.
Nothing to see here. Move on.
This is basically the white Christian militia. They're white separatists, white chauvinists, and they are in cahoots with the police in Wisconsin. It's some kind of neo-Confederate militia. I don't know a lot about it. In fact, I will admit I'm hearing a rumor that I heard yesterday, but it sounds like a rumor that makes sense because I heard something earlier before very similar to that. I just can't remember where I heard it. I think it was actually on social media. I'm not sure, or on some news broadcast. I can't remember. And that's because at the same time that I first heard. No, actually, I heard it on your show, Jason. Shit, that was the first time I heard about it. I heard about it just a couple days ago, and I was like, that sounds familiar. That's where I first heard it. Shit, the Wisconsin thing. Holy shit. It was real. That's very similar to the Arizona thing.
I want to finish this up. I love, dude, if this was like an Antifa dude or someone associated with a communist org who did this to right-wingers rioting and protesting, guarantee you absolutely, positively, 120% the media would be talking about this nonstop for months. The right-wing media would be on this shit like flies on hot shit. They'd be trying to label Antifa a terrorist group as they already have, even though Antifa literally has never killed anybody ever. Meanwhile, you look at the right-wing side of things, the right side of things, you know, these people are so wrong about so much shit, and they actively hold us back as a species. Can we just start calling them the wrong wing? Why do we call them the right wing? We're the right wing. They're the wrong wing. Holy shit.
Well, I think it's important to also remember that the irony of Trump declaring Antifa a terrorist organization, he has ousted himself. That's why the establishment is panicking, because any academic can look up the history and know that Antifa was from 1932 to 1933, and it was the anti-fascist movement by the Communist Party. Has anybody ever heard this? Has anybody ever heard the song "World Socialist Republic"?
I have, but I just want to say this.
He's the guy that sang it, and he was the founder of Antifa.
No, George Soros was the founder of Antifa. He is the CEO of Antifa.
Of course.
Yes, clearly. No,
I'm not getting my money. What the fuck?
How the fuck do you criminalize a protesting tactic?
Because the Nazis have taken over.
Driving right past him. Not even stopping, like, well, nothing to see here. Let's just go. The police were searching for a man in a video footage holding a rifle. Bloodshed validated his concerns about armed civilians. This is why you don't deputize. This is pissing me off so much. Oh my God. Do you hear that? Hold on.
I really appreciate what you do for me. Yeah. So, I'll tell you something. This is what I've been trying to talk about for years. The CIA, okay, comes from Operation Paperclip. Facts. when the government collapses, they're going to be the law and order. That's what's happened. That is not a conspiracy theory. That's public information. Separate public information from conspiracy theories. COINTELPRO, MKUltra, all of that is not a fantasy. And I've been trying to say like this for a while, that this is exactly where the direction was going to go. All it would take is enough collapse in the state. And that's the thing people don't get. The state is collapsing. And that's because capital has gone as far as it can for the American side. And sick like double standard. And this is always what happens when empires crumble. You always see them at their most vicious. That's just material.
Net broke off. Net, are you there? Did you die?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I
feel like Jason wants to say something, but
I'm waiting for Jason to say something. I can talk too much, and it's better when Jason talks, so that I'm not like all.
It's so obvious at this point. I mean, this is proof beyond any shadow of a doubt. Basically, these militias are acting as death squads. Every single scary bullshit thing that the U.S. has ever said about another country having death squads and going around and committing all the human rights, it's right here. And every single one of these right-wing fucking militias that are all like, yeah, we're here to fight the big, scary totalitarian government. What are they doing? They're standing there right in front of the police and doing their bidding, like the bunch of little bitch-ass toys that they are. They're standing there, step in line in steps, with fascism. It's right there. It's right in front of their faces. So for all their bluster about, oh, the left is going to bring in fascism, oh, the Nazis were leftists because I'm too stupid to understand what the word socialist means. Here they are. They are the ones doing it. Always have been. Always will be. So from now on, when any kind of right-wing militia says that they're about fighting for freedom, they're about fighting totalitarian government, once and for all, shut up. Because you're a fucking liar.
Dude.
You know, Traveler, your eyes, I can see your eyes, Traveler. I see those eyes. Those are the eyes of an Antifa guy, because I'm Antifa. When you're smiling, you're like, oh, Jason's being inspirational and everything's gone. I was like, this is the time to smash shit. I can see that in you. I am just like you in that way. I'm like,
dude, Jason, I don't know why you haven't like founded a communist org, but you've been committed to this shit for a very long time. I know you were part of the LLCO for a while. I don't know why like you haven't either founded an org or like I guess found a new one to join. Frankly, that was beautiful, dude.
It's I live relatively out in the sticks where there really is nothing. I mean, out where I am, there's an animal rights group, and there's a I guess you could call it a chapter of Black Lives Matter, and that's it.
Hold on a second. I want to read some of these comments. What would you like to know? Hello, Maxwell. What do you guys think? How long till the USA collapses? How long do we got?
I would say that's hard to answer because there's a lot of unknown variables at this point. You know, as Lennon said, you know, sometimes there are decades when years happen. Sometimes there's years when decades happen. You never really know what's going to be the spark that starts the prairie fire. It only takes one, as Mao said. And we're seeing right now people just throwing lit matches at a pile of dynamite. Sooner or later, you know, one of those is going to be the one that hits the fuse on the dynamite pile. I highly believe if the mass evictions are as bad as many are predicting, that may be it.
Yeah. All right, you want to know what the strength on the other hand is? The idealist, constitutionalist, liberal cannot deal with this in either the left or right. However, if they get into history, they'll have to side with the right. That's the problem that they're having. You get to every docile Trump supporter, not the rapid Trump supporter, but every docile supporter, they shake when you call them out. Because I bring up history. I'm like, since the 1970s when Panthers actually, because I'm sorry, fuck the CPUSA. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be fucked up. No, I am. I don't care. Fuck the CPUSA. Everybody all these fuckers who talk shit about the Black Panthers and everything, let me explain something. This country cannot become a socialist country. It is, and here's the thing for everybody who rails on Israel. I fight Israel. You don't do anything about Israel. We opposed Israel before Israel existed. The problem is Israel is a projection of America. So Americans who don't like colonialism project it on Israel, forgetting that Christian Zionism predates Jewish Zionism. This gets into the colonial mindset. People can't face themselves in the mirror. The problem here is that there is this thing, neither left or right. It's like that video you did where you played the left wing, the center, and the right. And you're like, hey, look, it's a group of fascists. I better stop this. And that's the thing is that you're secular talk guy. The ideal, those are the real idealist constitutionists. You do have to have some compassion for them. If you've been grown up to believe that Superman is truth, justice, and the American way, it's very hard not to feel compassion for those people. But they can't deal with it when they find out, no, bro, you're the Nazis. Because the Nazis were inspired by the Trail of Tears of the Native Americans. The Navajo Nation is out here, man. Like, I know what happened. I've heard from several of them, from the Hopis too, what happened. And Hitler was inspired by that. And Hitler was the first to finance the first settlement in Israel. The first sign it was a transfer agreement plan. Like, I have all this history here, and people have a hard time because they're like, oh well. Stalin, Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Okay, I believe that pact is in flaw. I'll be honest, but I also think that it's not right to not understand the Marxist-Leninist critique. I would say before you critique that, do watch Fimble. Fimble gives a side of it that I think has to be in the equation. Because why they keep talking about that? Well, because everybody was encircling Russia, and you have to think of Stalin's position. Stalin was. I would have never have wanted to be in Stalin's position, yo. Oh my gosh, can you imagine this encirclement around you? And what am I going to do? Fucking Hitler's going to come. And that's what I'm really worried about. Like, well, maybe if he just leaves me alone and fucks with the other capitalists, the capitalists kill each other, maybe I'll have this big industry. You know, the Nazis come into Stalingrad and, you know, some say he had a nervous breakdown. I don't know if that shit's made up or not. But, like, he gathered his forces around. They literally beat them back. Stalin, they want you to forget that Stalin won the war. They want you to forget that. The death camps, like Stalin saved my family members. That's a fact.
Okay. Yeah. This is all great and wonderful and all, but
I'm off track. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't. I kind of want to rein this back in because there are a few other questions I want to answer. So my answer to when will the U.S. fall? If the evictions crisis doesn't do it, I give it 2 decades, because if that doesn't do it, you have my word, the climate crisis will, because we have some blue ocean events coming up. And I don't know if you guys are familiar, but the blue ocean event is basically when the Arctic ice cap completely melts. And we are approaching there faster than what even our more pessimistic models predict. So when that melts, the feedback loops kick in, and everything goes to shit. Third world will feel it first. But then the first world will feel it when, we stop getting our grain, we stop getting our food. I'm just saying, you're going to start seeing empty shelves. And when you start seeing those empty shelves where there was once food, you're going to see things destabilize very, very quickly. And with those feedback loops and the mass climate refugees, like, you're going to have that border wall Trump is building is going to come in pretty handy down the line. And you have my word, they are going to be gunning climate refugees at the border and stuffing people into concentration camps left and right. There's a video I want to share with you guys in regards to that later. It's very, very cryptic, but if it's not now, I give it 20 years. Do I think the Russian Federation takes any side, support any side? Do you think they support someone? Russia supports Russia's interests. I think it's within their material interests to see the fall of the United States in the same manner it was in the material interests of the United States to see the fall of the USSR. Do you guys have any commentary on that?
I'd agree.
I totally agree with that. And I'll say this, I am actually rather pro-Russian, but I will say you got to be very critical of Russia. I have my own reasons for being pro-Russian, but I do not trust Russia to not start problems when they see an advantage. I think I think they would join forces with China temporarily because America scares everybody, man.
So this question right here. So is it 100% certain that Trump wins again? What does this mean for the next 4 years? And hear me now, quote me later. I do believe Donald Trump is going to win again. The Democrats would have had this in the bag if they didn't pick Kamala Harris, if they kept Biden in the closet, if they just kept him in that closet. But now that he's come out and given his little dumbass speech, now that he's picked Kamala Harris as his running mate, who's like a universally hated politician across the board. I mean, we have a race on our hands. The reason why I think he's going to win is because he's the incumbent, and because he's still, although his base is a minority, only a minority of people are Trump supporters, they're radical. The people that support Biden are only voting for him because he's not Trump. They don't have that same fervor about them as Trump's base do. You know, the people that represent the purge of the United States, the cultural purge. So
you're talking almost like a political coup d'etat of intimidation, almost.
Yeah, no, Trump is going to win. He's going to get another term, despite all of this, despite everything that happens. I think it's going to be close as fuck, but I think it's going to be close as fuck in the favor of Donald Trump. Anywho,
I think that Trump is very useful for taking the mask off of the capitalist system. I mean, you know, somebody said Trump unfit for office was a hashtag that was going around on Twitter, and I put, the guy is the perfect representative of capitalism. You couldn't get a guy in there who could represent capitalism better. Narcissistic to the nth degree. Human life means absolutely nothing to him. He has absolutely no empathy for life whatsoever, and is purely out to enrich himself off of the office that he holds.
Well, I think it's interesting that Trump wants us to think everything is China and the Democrats want us to think everything is Russia, when really what it is no, Russia didn't mess with any elections. Russia's good at propaganda, and American propaganda gets in Russia. And then as far as China goes, that's America's big trading partner. In fact, mutually they've needed each other for a long time historically. So it's like kind of funny the way that it's being viewed. It's like the politicians are trying to feed people a narrative that sort of works, but I don't think it's very effective anymore. And I think that there's a panic in the two-party system. But with Trump, I think there's sections of the sections of the Republican Party that don't want him to remain, but I think there's others that see a massive advantage with them for tax cuts and shit, and they're willing to gamble.
I think that I think that at this point it's kind of like a race to the bottom. Like Donald Trump says and does something really shitty. It's sort of like something becoming its opposite, as Mao says. You have the Democrats that do something really shitty that demonstrates massive contempt for like regular people, and then you have the Republicans that do something really shitty that demonstrates contempt for the masses of working class people. So it's sort of like, it's an interesting balance how disconnected the two-party duopoly is from the struggles of the average person. It's very, very from a morbidity standpoint, very fascinating to me. It's like a race to see who's shittier, and whoever is the least shitty at the end is the one who wins, rather than the person who is fighting to be the best. Normally in like a sport, it's people fighting to be the best. Well, it almost seems like it's two people fighting to be the worst this election. I don't know.
Because they don't have any other options. To let Bernie Sanders do whatever it is that he would normally do would represent too much of a threat. It wouldn't radically change the system, but it would go too much against their interests. They don't have any other choice but to present two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
You know, I don't believe in triggering the right wingers, but I sometimes wonder how many of them believe their own bullshit. Like they think it's like big Jewish conspiracy. You know, like I've told people once something, which is true. The reason why I wear my newspaper hat or my my peddler's hat or whatever instead of a yarmulke now is because when I would walk out with the yarmulke, my tzitzits were out and everything, people would literally ask me for a loan. So you got the idea that Jews. I've known people that were like big InfoWars fans. They're like, oh man, the communists are taking over, or this or that. There's always Alex Jones' show was not very consistent as who they were or whatever. But the funny thing is that there is a real belief amongst people like that. A lot of people who believe that run for office. And America is now controlled by a bunch of conspiracy theorists. Like, people haven't figured it out. That's the decay of the state right there. Paranoia. And I say, let's give them what they're afraid of. I am a Bundist. I'm Jewish, right? So you guys are communists. I say we give them a Jewish communist conspiracy. Let's scare the fuck out of them.
It's not a conspiracy if everyone knows about it, though.
Yeah, no, it's not a conspiracy. But if that's what they say, like, long live the Jewish communist conspiracy. I've been serious about this for a while. Scare the fuck out of them. They're Nazis. Scare them. I mean, how delusional are they?
I wanna rein this back into the topic of the shooting, though. I do have some advice for protesters. Start packing heat. Like, seriously. Some of y'all start bringing guns to these protests, because it doesn't matter how much you point out right-wing cognitive dissonance, it doesn't matter how much you say what you will. There are some people that are so deep down the ideological rabbit hole, as demonstrable by the people in the various comment sections about this topic, defending a murderer. There are some people that are so far down the ideological rabbit hole, that are so ideologically blind, that they will, no matter what you point to them, they will always hold that position. And people like that, there is no. It's like the Black Red Guard in his glorious video he output recently. There is no better critique than a bullet. So I say, come armed to these protests. Be ready to defend yourself, because if the cops are going to be sicking Nazis on you, then it only makes sense. That's all I'm trying to say.
Sometimes in order to pick up the gun, you must pick it up.
If they're already going to shoot you anyway, then you might as well. I mean, what's the
self-defense?
Yeah. We have a Second Amendment for a reason. Watch all these Republicans that love to jack off the fucking Second Amendment, like, immediately turn around the second people start coming armed to these protests, be like, we need hard gun control. We need all these gun regulations and so on. We need to stop these uppity Negroes from taking up arms. Oh, did I say that? I didn't mean to say that. But no, we need to keep the blacks and the browns down. You know what I'm saying? Did you guys know that Ronald Reagan was actually pro-gun control? And he was
Yes. In fact, I bring that up all the time. I always bring that up. He was the first major gun control person, because the Black Panthers knew the Constitution better than Whitey, basically.
Yeah. No, they will shit on the Constitution. They will tear it up into a million little pieces, set it on fire, and then blow it into the wind. These people are not ultimately principled. All they care about is empowering themselves at the expense of others, no matter what the cost. And the whole point of Ronald Reagan's gun control was really just to repress the Black Panthers. I mean, look at, like I said, they don't give a shit about the Constitution. Look at Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh from Vietnam, revolutionary communist leader from Vietnam, wrote like an open letter to the United States, being like, you guys were a colonized nation at one point, dog. We're being colonized by the French. Why don't you help us out? You're talking about freedom and self-determination. We're trying to be free and self-determination for ourselves. But, money and power sort of trump principles, and we've got to stop the spread of communism. So we went to Vietnam and we sided with the French. Fuck the Constitution. They don't give a fuck about the Constitution, dog. They shred that shit up and they set it on fire. These people do not give a shit about their own cognitive dissonance. They want us dead. Like, I've said it before and I will say it again. The far right wants us dead.
Yep.
They absolutely do. I mean, this is that thing where liberals is like, fascism, anti-fascism? I can't tell the difference because I have the IQ of a doorstop. But it should be pretty clear by now who is who. Are you getting reports of Antifa shooting people? No. You're getting the right wingers shooting people, the police shooting people, the police who are overwhelmingly like 99.9% right wing.
Hey, can we highlight Comrade's comment on fascists? No, keep going.
We have definitive, absolute proof of right now, because of that video, of collaboration between police and right-wing death squads. Let's be honest, they're not even militias. They're death squads. And that's exactly what they're going to continue to do in the future, is just gun people down. What is it? This is like, what is it they call? The AUL or whatever, like they call it, the 6th Division of the Colombian Army, the one that the death squads that go in and murder protesters, murder the FARC, etc. They're unofficially a part of the army. They call them the 6th section of the army or something like that.
We're living in a fucking third world country. America is the richest third world country on the planet. I want to read a couple of these comments, but there's a video I want to show you guys. Let me go back.
Read the one where Comrade is talking about the communist versus fascist thing on the Constitution.
Yeah. I got it. The Virgin.
Those are some good comments there.
Hitler versus the Chad Stalin. Capitalists.
I love that picture.
Use fascism temporarily. When they don't need it, they use liberalism and/or social democracy. So the thing is with this is that they use fascism in the sense that they are dealing with the devil, because fascism is ultimately not a threat to private property. They are compelled by their nationalist and racial ethnic spooks to achieve their goals. But liberals, capitalists just want to make money. That's what it's all about to them. So they'll side with the fascists when it's convenient for them, when socialist revolution is on the rise. You see, because the conditions that rise to fascism are the same conditions that give rise to socialism. So, when you see people's political beliefs and opinions continue to get more and more polarized as they are now, you have more people that are leaning further to the left, more people that are leaning further to the right, and ultimately there's going to be a conflict between the forces of socialist progression and fascist reaction. Sometimes fascist reaction wins up top, like what happened in Germany. Other times socialist progression emerges on top, as what happened in the October Revolution in Russia. But following up with that, I would like to address this too. Tanky Talk said the rate of profit might now be too low for social democracy. I've actually said this myself on my channel in a video quite some time ago. The rate of profit actually is so low because, like, the tax revenue used to fund the social programs that are necessary for the give, the free shit, quote unquote, is so low that the profitability is so low, and because all that free shit depends on the profitability of corporations, it means we don't get no free shit, dog. And all that means is that in order to finance that shit, we would need to cut into capitalist consumption K. And when you have millionaire or billionaire oligarchs, you have Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates and shit, that have a net worth in the hundreds of billions of dollars. You think they're going to give up capitalist consumption K so that variable capital B can live and actually have, decent living standards and not live like fucking peasants from feudalism?
I think what's interesting here is that the U.S. could afford every social program in the world if they would just cut into the military budget. But they need the military budget in order to maintain their position of being able to exploit. You spend the money on social programs, military decreases, exploitation of the third world decreases, and then again, they can't afford it again. They have no choice as an empire to continue doing it. They couldn't even cut back on the military spending, even if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
One of the arguments that somebody makes, I forget who it was. I know it was a Marxist economist who made this argument. One of the ways that they use a Keynesian-style economics to fight the falling rate of profit is military expenditure. And it's not. It has the effect of expanding the U.S. empire, maintaining it, etc. But one of the things about the falling rate of profit, which actually does kind of tie into planned obsolescence, etc., is that what it is that you buy has to be destroyed before you can use it again. And in some things, like food, you're always going to have to eat again. You're always going to have to buy more food. But you buy a TV, it lasts a couple years. And then eventually you'll buy another one, and then you just start making everything a piece of shit, so it breaks down, so you have to buy more. So you're buying more, so the rate of profit is going up. One of the ways they can combat that falling rate of profit is to spend it on military hardware. You spend, what is it, how many thousands of dollars on a single bomb? Drop it, done. Now you need another one. Bullets.
Yeah,
done.
Exactly. It's the military-industrial complex. What people don't realize is that we could have like an infrastructure projects and a social program that would blow Western and Northern Europe out of the water. Like, if we wanted to, we could have high-speed trains. We could have 3D printed organs. We could have, we could literally turn into Star Trek society, but not within the context of capitalism because of the profit motive. Like, because you have to worry about, competing with the needs of the capitalist class, and not just that, but like the whole question of profitability. Like, you have to make that money, you have to make that revenue, and that's the reason why monetary economics, market-based economics, is fundamentally flawed. And this is the reason why, like, as I will in future videos, I'm going to argue for going beyond money, going beyond market and monetary economics, and going to a voucher economy, calculate labor and kind, doing calculation according to the labor theory of value, as Marx prescribed centuries ago. I want to kind of rein things in a bit because there's a video I've been wanting to show you guys, because I know for a fact neither of you have seen this, and I'm sure the 44, 45 people watching right now haven't seen this. But so I'm gonna go to screen share. Here we go. Peer into the endless void. Traveler, Unruhe.
Oh, sorry, what?
No. Unruhe.
No, he's just making a joke.
Wait, what happened? What happened?
Nothing.
Did I do something wrong?
Yes, you did. You existed. No, I'm just kidding. But
shit.
I have a video. Do you guys see this white man's face? This white man behind the what's the name of that fucking county that the shooting took place in? Kenosha. Thank you.
I don't really see a white man. I see a pile of bacon.
Okay,
is the white man behind the bacon?
Well, as long as you see the bacon, that works.
Okay.
Okay, this guy's ugly.
I want to show you guys this because this is very foreboding to what is coming to America within like the next 15 years.
I think I need more marijuana for this.
Oh man, I'm gonna need another drink before we watch this. Oh my god. Dude, guys, I drank like a whole bottle of wine.
Yeah, I need to step outside 2 minutes for a joint or something. Fuck, man, this is
dog. If you're gonna be hanging with me, you don't have to drink. But if you're drinking with me, and we ever have a drinking contest, you will be a dead man by the end of that. I just want to give you a heads up.
No, I lost to the Russians. I'll obviously lose to you. No way, sir. I'm not gonna drink.
Oh yeah, I mean, what can I say? I'm Italian, so.
Let me hit the
shit. That explains it.
All right.
We just drink that weak wine. That's true. Well, the Manischewitz is the strong shit we have. All right, let's see this.
Society has to come to a threshold.
Did you guys hear that? Do I have to turn up the volume?
Yeah, no, play it again.
Yeah, I think you should turn up the volume.
Okay, here, I'm gonna put my mic right by the speaker.
Society has to come to a threshold where there's some people that aren't worth saving. We need to build warehouses to put these people into it and lock them.
Wait, pause. There is no way you can misinterpret what he just said right there.
Nope.
That's not a concentration camp.
Yes.
This is the sergeant. This is like the dude who's the head of the Kenosha Police Department.
He just publicly zigged his Heil.
Yes.
And lock them away for the rest of their lives. Let's put them in jail. Let's stop them from truly, at least some of these males going out and getting 10 other women pregnant and having small children. Let's put them away. At some point, we have to stop being politically correct. And I don't care what race, I don't care how old they are. If there's a threshold that they cross, these people have to be warehoused. No recreational time in the jails. We put them away. We put them away for the rest of their lives so that the rest of us can be better.
So, guys, is this not...
America has finally become America.
This is just fascism without extra steps.
This is fascism without using the word fascism.
Yeah, guys.
Americanism. Americanism. That's what it's called, guys. Just call it what it is. Americanism.
Let's just arbitrarily imprison people for peaceful protesting. Yes, I agree. Yeah, no. And this is something I was going to do. I was originally going to launch a polemic attack on Bosch at the start of the stream. I was going to quote Mao by calling the Vosh pit no longer is a dictatorship of the proletarian. It is a dictatorship of the bourgeoisie, a dictatorship of the big bourgeoisie. It is a dictatorship of the German fascist type, a dictatorship of the Hitler type. But instead, I shall direct that at the United States. The United States is a dictatorship of the German fascist type, a dictatorship of the Hitler type. And, that is 100% absolutely, positively, 100% true. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. I'm scared, man. You've got like cops talking about building concentration camps for people. Like,
how did that not make it onto the mainstream media?
How did it not make it on BreadTube? Hopefully, Mexi will say something, but I doubt it.
This is the chief of the police department, the very same police department that let this motherfucker walk. This fucking 17-year-old kid who gunned down those protesters. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Fucking hell. Okay, we talked a little bit before the show about something called the Maoist street code.
Yeah.
You guys are familiar with it? For the most part.
I am not familiar with it, but we can finish with some theory. I was originally planning on reviewing PragerU, but this is way more interesting to me. So let's go ahead and get to that.
Does somebody want to read it? I have it. Like, we use it out here.
Here, so it's Maoism, Third Worldism. It's right here. There's a lot of articles here.
The Maoist street code's on the bottom.
Maoist street code's on the bottom.
It just preface. I didn't write this.
I thought you knew who wrote it, Jason. When I thought if anybody knew where it came from, it would have been you.
No, this showed up on an anonymous message board. Actually, whoever it is that wrote it, it's not known.
Mao, you were so based until you were not. Okay, Maoism in the first world is not Maoism in the third world. The only way to hold high the great red banner of Marxism, Leninism, Maoism in the first world is to build the first world lumpen proletariat. The labor aristocracy is the enemy of the revolution. It is the first world lumpen proletariat that must be revolutionized, recognizing that base of revolution that can only be found in the third world. The first world working class is ruled by the labor aristocracy, which is shrinking, by the way. Fewer and fewer people are finding themselves in that.
Yes, but we're also at a time reaction. Keep going. This is quite revealing.
Which connects itself to the middle class. The first world working class is usually labor aristocracy. Even when the first world working class is separate from the labor aristocracy, there is no lasting proletariat. The original Black Panther Party, as they were in the 1960s and 70s, is the first prototype of MLM. With the study of the original Black Panther Party, correct analysis can be comprehended and advanced. Mao Zedong thought is not MLM. Mao Zedong thought is not MLM. Of China during the time of Mao Zedong. The original Black Panther Party, as they were seen in the 60s and 70s, applied MLM thought to their own conditions, suffering under the brutality of the police. The Black Panthers took advantage of the contradictions in the capitalist republic more commonly known as the States of America. What the Black Panthers did was legal deterrence. MLM emerged as a new revolutionary path to be upheld by the revolutionary internationalist movement, and the evidence was the shining path led by Abimel Guzman. The revolutionary internationalist movement was destroyed by Guzman had become a reactionary. This does not stop MLM. It's interesting to me, just real quick, it's interesting to me how MLM will take from like Mao and Guzman and it'll just like cast aside their mistakes and their wrongdoings. Like, yo,
not all MLM do this. This is actually not. This is actually originally an MLM document that certain MLM follow, but it's very. It's okay. Like the Black Internationalist is somebody that I don't. She had to have seen this. You know, I mean, you've seen her stuff, Jason. Like, like there's no way she couldn't have seen this at some point.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, this is during the time of the Bush administration. This was written. If you were to take what's written on here, you could update it to now, and this is one of the most advanced things that I've ever seen from MLM. I mean,
all right. Well, oh, sorry. Were you going to say something?
No, keep going.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and read the rest of this off. MLM can only be grasped by understanding the fundamentals of the enemy. The enemy of the proletariat is the enemy of all revolutionaries. The Patriot Act, signed by Bush, is a contingency plan to put down revolution and the furthering continuation of COINTELPRO. Maoists in the First World, well versed in the correct line of revolutionary silence for our time, requires that we know what determines revolution in the First World is the lumpen proletariat. The First World lumpen proletariat lost class consciousness due to the efforts of the counterintelligence program. We must awaken the lumpen proles to the class struggle. It is easier said than done. The obligation of the First World revolutionary is to the obligation to sabotage the bourgeois First World. The First World revolutionary has another obligation, an obligation to the proletarian Third World. Mao's common street law dictates as it must. An infringement against anarchists is an infringement on Maoists. Common street law dictates as it must. An infringement against MLMs is an infringement on anarchists. We must unite with the anarchists on what we agree with. We struggle with the anarchists on what we disagree with. ML is outdated. However, ML hold relevance in the post-Soviet Eastern Bloc. Any infringement on our confused ML comrades is an infringement on MLM. Attacks and infringement on Maoists damage the work of Leninists. Thus, it cannot be tolerated. We must struggle against the narcotics flooding the urban streets of the First World. We must struggle against racism because it destroys the class struggle. We must protect the anarchists when they are under attack of fascists. We must protect the poor because we can never win them over if we show apathy. Yet we must never give in to counter-revolutionary appeals to emotion. Serve the people. Combat liberalism, defend correct ideas, reject incorrect ideas. MLM is the highest stage of Marxism and is the Maoist street code is the constitution of Maoism in the First World. It is the correct to rebel against reactionaries. It is correct to show solidarity for anarchists when they need it. It is our obligation to struggle with anarchists when we see incorrect views propagated by them. It is even correct to necessary to see the best anarchists as comrades. We must establish rebel journalism with a serious stance against imperialism, colonialism, and fascism. We must develop self-reliance and self-defense programs. We must form rebelling cooperatives to do what not to exploit the Third World. We must create eco-friendly plans to ensure the survival of the planet, or we will perish. We must lift up the Native Americans and help them in their struggle against colonialism. The Native Americans hold the key to saving the environment. We must stand with radicals who combat fascism. It is counter-revolutionary to ignore dangerous and coherent fascist reactionaries and their political movements. We must build Antifa cells with anarchists, or we may as well wake up in prison camps. We beat the fascists before we can beat them again. The Maoist street code is the foundation to building the necessary united fronts against the enemies of the revolution.
I don't swear by the Constitution in this term of crisis, and I say this not as a communist at all, but as a Bundist. I swear by this Maoist street code. I actually swear by it.
So more or less left unity.
I wouldn't call it left unity. I think left unity is fake. I would call it. Jason, what would you call it?
I would call it. Is it closer to a united front?
Yeah, it's a united front.
Now you
It's
see,
a necessary. It's not just a. It's not a mere left front. This is a proletarian left front. This is something that, like, there's a reason why anarchists and Maoists, despite consistently disagree with each other, consistently back each other over anybody else. This has been a thing for a while. Because no matter what you see on BreadTube, anarchists don't want to hear a bunch of shit from Trotskyists and everybody going like, oh, I want you to know that I embrace you and we all care about you and blah, 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 blah. No, they want to hear, I disagree with you, comrade. You failed at the CNT, so they can say, yeah, and I think you're too bureaucratic. And that's respect. Nobody wants to hear this shit about kumbaya. People want to be real, you know, and Maoists will respectively disagree with anarchists, and anarchists will respectively disagree with Maoists, and they'll struggle together, and they'll adopt each other's ideas, and they'll remain separate because that's real. This whole thing where you're not going to create, I'll put it this way, I really am a Jew. I really believe in Judaism. I believe in circumcision. I'm really close to Jason at this point because, you know, he did a lot for us out here. The point is Jason doesn't believe in circumcision at all. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, what matters? What matters?
Okay. Nets. Okay. Nets. I just want to say that I do not condone genital mutilation of any type. I stand fervently against genital mutilation. Really, I'm not really. I just think it's really weird and kind of gross. Like,
all right, cool. But do you think I care if you're against it or not? Does it matter?
Well, we can have a debate.
Does that squabbling? Here's the thing. Does that squabbling matter?
Hey, slow down. Somebody is asking for you.
Who's asking?
Against the river, Comrade Net. They've asked like what looks like 15 times.
I don't know. I don't know what's being asked.
I don't either. So PragerU canceled. Okay. I mean, we can still do PragerU if you want. If you guys want. I mean,
yeah.
It's always right to shit on PragerU.
I agree. Let's look at PragerU. All right.
What episode are we watching? If you bring in a designism, I'm gonna flake back because I get pissed off and destroy shit when he talks about Israel.
All right.
As was so adequately said before, hawk and ball torture is moral and just.
I got in trouble, Jason. I started sharing that with people, and then kids started sharing it, and then I had it was a disaster. I was embarrassed as hell, man.
Oh my god! Oh my dude! These guys have like almost 3 million subscribers.
Do you know how much they spend on advertising?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
About $500,000 to $600,000 a year.
Hey guys.
What trips me out though is even most right wingers I know don't believe in this weird shit. I don't know why they have why this is still a thing.
Do we have to destroy the earth to save it? Is it time to grow up? Oh, here's Candace Owens, the fucking black grifter. There's nothing that right-wingers love more than a fucking black-white supremacist. Have you guys heard her comments on fucking Adolf Hitler? How she actually, like, besides the genocide part, I actually like Hitler. That's basically what she said.
Except for the epitome of evil, you know, he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, he's not too bad, you know. He might have, you know, killed like, he may have gotten like 70 million people killed, but you know, he wasn't too bad, you know. Like,
hey, guys, will you still be here if I go outside for a second?
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, man, like I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of damage lately, and right now I'm like, I just need a I need a freaking cigarette, dude. Especially because I don't want to like over talk you and everything. So that way I'll get more chill for everybody.
You're good, man. Go smoke the cigarette. Why I love America. Jason, help me pick a video of any type. There's a lot of bullshit on here.
The left couldn't care about blacks. Yeah, okay. I think you meant liberals, but you don't know the difference anyway.
Didn't they make a video about how there's a difference between leftism and liberalism?
Trying to see what one could we do that I wouldn't lose my temper too much on.
The left couldn't care about blacks. Virtually everyone, left, right, or liberal, knows this is true.
Okay.
But few will say so out of fear that the left will brand them racist. What's up?
What?
If the left cared about blacks, they would work to improve black academic standards rather than eliminating them, promoting a vibrant religious life in black communities. Okay, so wait, let's go back to that last statement. No fucking way, dog. Hold on a second. Last I checked, isn't it conservatives that want to get rid of all the fucking strong and weak affirmative action programs?
Isn't it the conservatives who want to kill all education funding, regardless of skin color?
Oh yeah.
Rich. What the fuck are they talking about?
If the right wing had things their way, most of the population wouldn't have like functioning utilities like electricity or running water because they're too poor to afford it, because there's more money in charging rent to the top 30% of the population than there is to the bottom 75% of the population for human services. You would have illiteracy rates go up. You would, I'm just saying, in a world where everything was privatized, you would literally see like a permanent underclass of people. And because black people are historically, they never really got compensation for slavery, and they come from the slave background, the roots of slavery and segregation never truly got resolved. We just said, okay, it's illegal to not hire black people now. How does religion uplift the black community? I'm just curious.
Now that I believe in God, I have a job.
Now that I believe in God, I have health care.
More of the people calling for fucking concentration camps. We need more of the people who support.
Yeah, I know, right? We need to over police the fuck out of black people even more. We need to fucking crack down.
I'm gonna say this loud and proud. Citation needed.
Dude, that's like every PragerU video. That's like them all, because they all fucking... Dude, you realize none of them give works cited. None of them give citations. They just present graphs. And, like, this is what your typical PragerU graph looks like, all right? So,
okay, what answer are we looking at, gentlemen?
Oh, if they really cared about black people, they'd put more cops in black neighborhoods.
Guys, this is your typical PragerU graph. And here we have goodness. Oh shit.
What is this?
This is
PragerU graph.
Yes. Guys, this is goodness right here.
Pinball and Ponkosh need to bring back Big Brain University. Shit.
Dog, yo, this is the goodness graph.
Yeah, this is society getting better, and here's the corresponding increase in the amount of police.
Yes, this is the goodness graph. This is down here. You will see more capitalism.
What?
And when you go to the part that has the citation, if it has one, it just says, "Dude, trust me."
And yeah, no, this is what happens when we have less capitalism. This is what happens. You guys see this? This is less capitalism right here.
Did you guys ever see the footage of Ronald Reagan with his graphs? Like, you see, this is how it is with the trickle down economics and how ridiculous it was. Did you ever see that footage? That's on like C-SPAN. I think you can find that. It's.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, we'll leave this up. Here we go.
How do these people look?
Increased policing of black communities to save black lives for mostly black crime. Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? They're not even trying to be cordial anymore.
Wow.
Promote marriage before having children.
I'm pretty sure society already does that.
Yeah, really.
Wow, PragerU is starting to sound a little fringy lately. Wow.
Good old conservative Christian values. I don't know. My girlfriend's black, and I have fucked the ever-living shit out of her, and we are having a very stable relationship. She's not poor; she's relatively well off. Promote marriage before having children. That's what I don't understand. How does me getting married to my girlfriend really fucking matter whether or not we're both poor? We both got bills to pay. My fucking paycheck that I earned this week is about to get wiped the fuck out by rent.
Social theocratic overreach.
Why don't we call this what it is? Abstinence-only education. That's exactly what this is.
But for black people?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What is it? This thing about having kids, they're basically saying don't have sex until you're married.
This is the kind of poison that's brainwashing people.
But these proposals have been ignored for decades.
What are you talking about?
What?
Wait! No! Shut the fuck up! So when I was like literally a teenager in high school, and they were pushing literally all of the bullshit that you guys are talking about, you're telling me that's not ignored when they're literally going to my high school when I was like 15, 16 years old, trying to indoctrinate everybody in class after class, with this fucking save yourself for marriage till the post-missionary position for the sole purpose of reproduction type shit. How does this solve poverty? How does not broad-reaching, systemic, societal scale effort to directly combat the issue of poverty, like, that doesn't do it? But fucking, just get married and have kids, you know.
You know what's really weird about this? I kept hearing that the schools were trying to brainwash everybody into becoming lesbians and homosexuals. Now I'm seeing this instead.
What the fuck, dude?
If only. Wait, I really want to make this point. If only we had a society that already dealt with this like kind of problem. You know, like China. You know how it had an overpopulation problem, now it doesn't anymore because it gave out contraceptives.
Yeah, and I mean,
using contraceptives.
They did the one-child policy, and I mean it worked, but it kind of bit them in the ass too.
Well, there were two different one-child policies. There was Mao's one-child policy, and the post-Mao one-child policy. The one-child policy under Mao was okay. Look, just have one kid. Here's contraceptives. We'll do this. The post-Mao one was if you have more than one kid, we're going to punish you.
That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, one was incentivizing having few children. The other one was punishing for having more.
It's a very dang thing to do. Because from what I understand, Mao was like basically a not anarchist in a lot of ways. Big advocate of decentralized planning and all that. I miss Mao, except when he got lame.
Yeah.
The left cannot abide by anyone helping to solve problems facing black Americans. You're right. The left, with our criminal justice reform and the decriminalization of marijuana and the ending of all drugs and the federal jobs guarantee and wanting to directly do like systematic, large-scale, massive sweeping reforms of the criminal of the whole system that would directly elevate the material conditions of living standards of tens of millions of black people in the United States. Nah, we're not the ones that are we're clearly the ones keeping the Browns down. Know what I'm saying? This is pure fucking projection, dude.
To Against the River, I'm not an anarchist.
I know you're not. What's up?
I'm a Bundist. I hold a lot of anarchist principles, but I have very strong MLM leanings. So I'm complicated. I'm not dogmatic. I'm not a dogma. I'm not even a communist. I'm a socialist. I'm a revolutionary world socialist. I'm not an anarchist.
Hey guys,
Okay, dude.
why does the left do this? Why does the left hate America?
Probably because you suck.
Because it's a fucking evil country. Vote in Stalin.
Yo, the left hates America.
How is America a living refutation? You prove us right on a daily basis.
Wait, whoa. I have a meme for this. Guys.
All right, let's see the memes. Okay. When your system cannot fail because there are no rules, promises, or goals, and outcome is the correct one. America, fuck yeah.
If that's not postmodernism.
America first. Get that.
America.
No aspiration is the aspiration. You can't go wrong.
Was feudalism really that bad? Next up on PragerU. I mean, we did sort of like come and replace like an entire like generation and fucking civilization of people, didn't we?
I think it's just very interesting that PragerU is now really going hard on the social theocratic overreach.
Go hard.
You know, I'm not racist or nothing, but I legit don't think blacks and browns should have any rights, you know. We need to jam in concentration camps the same way that that the sheriff said so. Like, you know, you don't have to be racist, or you don't have to say the N-word like every 5 minutes to be racist, right? You just have to like be opposed to like black people fighting for the rights, or fucking, because like this is the thing that kind of pisses me off, but like liberal boomers think like the civil rights movement is over and there's like no racial injustice left to fight for, and that, you know, everything's fine the way it is, you know, and if black people are suffering, it's their fault.
It would be if you just had more cops.
Could you repeat that? You broke up a bit.
Well, we'd have racial justice if we just put more cops in.
Truth. Facts. More cops. Good.
We got destroyed by facts and logic. I mean, what else can I say?
Yeah, really. Clearly, PragerU's got it in the bag. Look at how many subs they got, man. They didn't buy 3 million subscribers. They earned that.
They so did. We know they did. This is now known. Which, it's... What?
I guess I can agree with that statement.
What the fuck are they talking
I'm so
about?
confused by this. What's the angle for this? What's the point?
I'm so confused. I'm a
left, and the left is racist. Therefore, America's racist. Also, America's not racist.
Therefore, America's not left. I'm so confused. Oh my god.
Well, you know who are really the racists? The anti-racists.
Do you know who the real fascists are? It is the anti-fascists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's nice people on the left and the right. Remember, it starts that way, and then, you know, Ku Klux Klan's not illegal, neo-Nazis, but Antifa is now. The movement to stop Hitler that was in Germany is now illegal. Or anybody who goes by the creed, never fascism here, is now illegal. But fascism is fine.
This is illegal, you know.
It is. I'm so confused. So what's with this fucking downbeat, fucking desperado, hip hop track? Like, have you guys noticed they've been playing like this fucking, like?
So it's PragerU now, bro.
It's PragerU.
Bro, you gotta get down with PragerU.
To the left, blacks are a useful demographic to help advance their agenda. Don't you love how the left are simultaneously like the Democratic Party while also being like communists at the same time? Like, I don't understand how liberals and the left have become like synonymous with one another.
Spoiler alert, they're the same thing.
Well, we're still arguing over whether we're against or for circumcision, or whether the CNT was good, or whether the USSR was good. Meanwhile, the right has completely united against all of us.
Well,
and
yeah.
It's kind of funny. To the left, blacks are useful to. My God, it's like
it's because the left doesn't tolerate cognitive dissonance. We're actually principled human beings that like want to deal with contradictions and resolve them. Right wingers just want to ignore them and fucking LARP about like a time that never really existed. And going back to
I think that's what they're scared of. We want to have intellectual, historical debates like without fear of each other. They need fear. The right wing has to have it.
Well, yeah, the fucking far right is an ideology of hatred and fear and fucking disdain. You know, I mean, these people are going to be the death of us. I swear to God. Like, hold on a second. Yeah, tears for...
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you, I guess.
Hold on a second. Are you the same fucking people that, like, the same group of people that are like, well, he was no saint. He had a cocaine habit and, you know, he got arrested one time for armed robbery. Like, aren't these the same people that, like, try to demonize this man after he was strangled to death in broad daylight?
Meanwhile, it's okay. It's okay that Epstein didn't kill himself.
What the fuck, dude? Yeah. George Floyd. It's justified, but let's not do anything about it. Let's just stay home. Let's not protest against racism. You know?
It's anarcho-statism, bro. You gotta understand, like, anarcho-statism. We know that we know that the great communism is around the corner, and so the best way to get there is just to not do anything, because you can't do anything. So even though you know what the right philosophy is, it can never be implemented. So therefore, just stay at home. Yeah, anarcho-statism, bro.
Fucking kill me, man.
Please don't shoot. Why do you white people?
To be what?
No, the full context, hold on. But to the left, such a tragedy is just a weapon to be used in their ongoing rage against America, the police, and white people. It's rage against white people. Why do you sensitive fucks have to make this about you? Like, I really don't understand, like, why, okay, so black people have, like, what, 1/10, 1/11 the wealth of your average American. They're like constantly profiled by the police, and here you are, like making this shit about you, like, woe is me, I'm the victim. Like the fucking PMC motherfucker who made this little collage here, he's probably got like a net worth of like $80,000, and he's sitting here like making this collage. Like the people that are behind all this are like rich, wealthy, like, oh, such an attack on personhood. Nobody's attacking you for your personhood. We just want cops to stop murdering innocent black people.
Well, Reginald, I do feel as though I've been thoroughly savaged by these people. I mean, I'm just sitting here minding my own business.
Well, I do declare that these Negroes are getting a little uppity. We better put them down. All right. So I think that's it. Hold on. Okay, so I know the right.
No, you're going into the lion's den.
Communism is such a great thing that it must be implemented at gunpoint. You are such a fucking idiot, dude! Capitalism had to be implemented at gunpoint. Fuck you! Have anybody ever heard of the French Revolution?
Because the switch from feudalism to capitalism was a peaceful democratic process.
But sure it was, man. All those peasants, they got up and said, yeah, man, the church and we've discussed it. We're going to make business now.
Dude, this comment makes my blood boil so goddamn much. There's a lot of idiots out there.
Well, look at what the icon says. Look, what's the icon? What is it? What is it? We know that symbol. Yeah, treads on everybody else.
The Gotsman flag, yeah. Where was Obama and BLM? Here we go, equivocating the Democrats with the far left. Like, oh my god. Well, you see, the Democrats and liberals have a history of co-opting these movements, and that's the reason why this equivocation occurs.
You know what's interesting about this? The far right has taken the Republicans, and the left has no influence on the Democrats.
Yeah. Why did the Democratic South become Republican? I don't know, but let's see what else we got here. Look at this. Look at how inclusive and diverse they are. You know, we have people of every race. We have like one Hispanic-looking girl right here, one
It's
white.
the Reaganite dream, man.
Yo, we're not racist. See, we have a black guy over here. Is California going up in flames? Oh man.
No,
Dude,
no, that.
I was talking about this with SpendCoin a while ago, but you know, really, all of us could be a lot wealthier.
Oh, okay. All right. You want to see something really fucked up from PragerU? Like really fucked up? This goes back, but you want to see? Look for their shit on Vietnam.
Oh God, what are we about to get into?
This is really evil. This is fucked up. Yes. Here we go.
Okay, let's listen to this old white guy explain why the Vietnam War was justified.
Decades back in late 1972, South Vietnam and the United States were winning the Vietnam War decisively by every conceivable measure.
We were showing them gooks what was coming to us.
That's not just my view. That was the view of our enemy, the North Vietnamese government officials. Victory was apparent when President Nixon ordered the U.S. Air Force to bomb industrial and military targets in Hanoi, North Vietnam.
And bomb lots of agrarian sites where old people, women, and children work the fields. You're a fucking piece of shit.
Vietnam's capital city, and in Haiphong, its major port city. And we would stop the bombing if the North Vietnamese would attend the Paris peace talks that they had left earlier.
Had they agreed to abandon communism and let us fully colonize and rape their country of cheap labor and resources, we would have stopped bombing them.
I'm sorry, what's Saigon called again today?
What's up?
Oh, right, it's called Ho Chi Minh City. I'm sorry, who was it? Whose military came into the South and then got rid of the U.S. puppet thing? I could have sworn it was the North. Like, this is how, we lost. This is how we didn't lose. But you lost.
Yeah, and no amount of fucking old people, women, and children that we like directly targeted into the wake of that would change that fact. It's kind of funny because even the South Vietnamese hated our fucking presence. Didn't we back like a fascist dictator in the South who like gunned down and killed and like did anti-communist mass killings? Just wondering. Like, what's his name? Neo Din Diem. What's his name? Yeah, Diem. Hold on.
Oh, Diem or two?
Neo Din Diem. This guy. Yeah, this motherfucker. Yeah, wasn't he like a hardcore like dictator, like hardcore fascist dictator who did like here we go, counterinsurgency.
Try to go to the sources. Wikipedia's cringe, man.
According to I know. According to Gabriel Kolko, about 12,000 suspected opponents of Diem were killed between 55 and 7, and 58 an estimated 40,000 were imprisoned. So basically, this dude did mass executions and mass imprisonment of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. But no, clearly Ho Chi Minh, who was fighting for the self-determination of Vietnam, clearly he was the bad guy. Am I right?
Except that Ho Chi Minh was actually really like doing a protracted people's war, and he was loved pretty much by everybody.
No, we had to stop him because he was an evil commie.
The North Vietnamese did go back to the Paris peace talks, and we did stop the bombing, as promised. On January the 23rd of 1973, President Nixon gave a speech to the nation on primetime television, announcing that the Paris Peace Accords had been initialed by the United States, South Vietnam, North Vietnam, the Viet Cong, and the accords would be signed on the 27th. What the United States and South Vietnam received in those accords was victory. At the White House, it was called the V-Day.
Okay, actually, no. Actually, the truth is, although there was a lot of killing from the side of the United States, this was actually a war where a lot of people from the United States died too, because they had to keep sending more people in because they couldn't overcome the guerrilla warfare. I mean, they were doing like old school people's war, not like protracted resistance now in the streets or in the shanty towns of third world. I mean, this was actual peasantry that you couldn't stop. Everybody united against this because they saw that yeah, and yes, it's true. Even the South Vietnam did not necessarily like the United States, and they kept losing more and more support the more they went on too. America was losing the whole time. In fact, that's what the Pentagon Papers were about. But anyway, I'm sorry. I just had that. That's bullshit. I'm sorry.
No, you're correct. America was winning so hard that we ended up losing, and Vietnam went communist.
In Vietnam Day, the U.S. backed up that victory with a simple pledge within the Paris Peace Accords, saying should the South require any military hardware to defend itself against any North Vietnam aggression, we would provide replacement aid to the South on a piece-by-piece, one-to-one replacement, meaning a bullet for a bullet, a helicopter for a helicopter, for all things lost, replacement. The advance of communist tyranny had been halted by those accords. Then it all came apart, and it happened this way. In August of the following year, in 1974, President...
Well, wait, one more thing. I'm sorry. If you want some more historical facts about this, actually, the more the Viet Cong got bombed and the North Vietnamese and everything like that, what actually started happening is communist support and people joining in. Vanguard militias continued. That's actually what fucking happened. Yeah. So it's backwards. It's the other fucking way around. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. America was winning. We were on the freedom-loving side. Tyranny was getting beaten back. Saddam, we got you by the power, man. I'm not too well versed in the history of the Vietnam War, tragically, but what I can say is no, America was not fucking winning in the way that he's trying to paint it right here.
Also, what became known as Watergate. 3 months after his resignation came the November congressional elections, and within them, the Democrats won a landslide victory for the new Congress. And many of the members used their new majority to defund the military aid that the United States had promised, peace for peace, breaking the commitment that we made to the South Vietnamese in Paris to provide.
Yeah, breaking our commitment to maintaining the neo-colony that we established illegally down in South Vietnam.
I wonder if anybody knows this old man. Is he there so that we trust him because he's old and his eyebrows are up like he's sincere or something?
Hold on, who the fuck is this guy? Bruce? Hold on. Bruce Hirsch.
Let's Google this. Find out who this guy is. I mean, a lot of times these PragerU guys are part of like the Heritage Foundation or some sort of like Pentagon, independent contractor or like crazy shit like that often is the case. I'm not kidding.
Hold on. So here's his wiki article. Damn, he's like 87. This dude was born like 10,000 years ago.
He probably fought in the Vietnam War.
What's up?
He probably fought in the Vietnam War.
All right, let's see.
He ran for Senate.
American commentator, author, and senior of the Pepperdine University School.
An official in the Reagan administration.
Wow.
Oh, so he's a Reaganite. Oh my fucking god. All right. Where were we about here?
A joint session televised to the nation.
Well, yeah. You ever notice how they don't just bring on Bob or Dick to talk about this shit? They always bring on like someone who's like deeply embedded in the U.S. imperial apparatus, or some hardcore right-wing grifter who gets paid millions of dollars of Koch brother grifter bucks to like campaign.
That was kind of why I think we should have looked him up, because that's typically what PragerU does. PragerU, whatever. Big Brain University, whatever. Uyghur U decides that to push the propaganda and they need people, but there's even certain right wingers that won't go along with this. If you look at it, it's always people from like the high bourgeoisie that are invested in the war industry, or like you look at it like there's a lot of money to be made in a lot of the shit that PragerU does. In fact, if you pay close attention, PragerU is largely a advertisement agency.
Hey guys, listen to this. Millions of innocent Vietnamese died, but let's talk about why we won. As a Vietnamese myself, this is simply utter bullshit to hear. Say this to any Vietnamese in the country, and you will either get laughed off their house or get beaten in the worst case.
They're not even censoring the comments.
Before I say I'm brainwashed, please consider that if our government had tried to brainwash us, they would have installed more than their great paper wall, referencing China's great firewall here. Oh yeah, we won the war by leaving Vietnam. That's for sure. Yeah, we won. We are leaving, but we won. Guys, we actually won the Vietnam War. Oh my fucking god.
In that speech, he literally begged the Congress to keep the word of the United States. But as President Ford delivered his speech, many of the members of the Congress walked out of the chamber. Many of them had an investment in America's failure in Vietnam. They had participated in demonstrations against.
No, they didn't have They didn't have a vested interest. There were literally hundreds of thousands, millions of people protesting on a regular basis because literally nobody wanted Vietnam. They turned on the television because journalism used to be a lot better back in the day. Used to have a lot more boots on the ground filming like all the people getting mangled and fucked up by the war. You know, these are the people that are like your cousins, brothers, aunties, and uncles, and nephews, and so on. These are the people that are going to fight and die for this pointless war. You know, you had Woodstock and the hippie movement, and as a consequence, it led into the war on drugs. But no, there was massive pressure being put on our government to end the Vietnam War, like massive fucking pressure.
What the fucked up thing is like they're probably, if you look at what they're doing, they're sort of lumping in a sort of a Democrat, liberal, left wing thing, which doesn't really mix. Back in those days, it was actually the common people, and at some point, the middle class even got involved. And back at that time, you did have a lot of corporate media, but there were public sectors of the corporate media. And then with the continuing privatization of public media, even in PBS, public broadcasting station, which is supposed to be free from that, but you go back further and further. The reason why you had all that honest press was because not everything was privatized, and so we don't seem to understand that privatization is well, I mean, we would know as socialists, obviously, but this is the funny thing, like the whole ANCAP bullshit of privatize anything comes straight from shit like this, because they don't want you to return to the civil rights movement. Back then, there was people like public sector. In fact, people were winning environmental causes back then, which are now being scaled back, and there's climate change.
I'm convinced that like a lot of ANCAPs are just neo-fascists, like, because when you hear the rhetoric, the kind of stuff that they advocate, the fact that they're always like working with fascists and shit in their protests, like just look at the fucking anti-com flag. These guys are like ANCAPs primarily. You know, lay helicopter, fucking, but yeah, no, these guys are straight up neo-fascists. Anyways, I think that's enough from PragerU. I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'll be right back.
How you doing there, Jason?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
Huh?
I'm doing fine.
Man, it's hard to stay focused, man. I got a lot going on right here. The cops are increasing, like they're everywhere. They're like getting closer to even the quote unquote richer neighborhoods. Like there's something weird going on.
Yeah, when you see the police start showing up in the richer neighborhoods, you know something's not right.
It's weird. I still feel safer in the more slum neighborhoods for some reason. I think it's because you could just hold your head up for a second and people will signal back. You know, people don't. They have a mutual distrust of the cops. I always like it better in there, and people have always said that that's fucked up. I'm like, nah, because they know it's like to be raided. You know, you go into the aristocrat labor fucking neighborhoods. They really think the police are there to protect them. Can't convince them of otherwise.
America, fuck yeah.
Bro, I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah, I just saw on Twitter, Elon Musk just hit the $100 billion mark.
Really?
Yep.
You think Vosh is breaking down?
I have no idea, but 100% support of it happening.
You think who's breaking down?
Vosh, like dude, like he seems to. Why else would he bring up Lenin and Mao and stuff unless he's getting desperate? I don't know. Like I hope he breaks down because I want forever his image to be associated with rad libs. I was serious. Like I'm making a new 3 Arrows poster. It's not going to be like the one we hijacked from the Iron Front. No, it's going to be one symbol is going to be for colonialism, and I'm going to use the Mormon symbol to represent colonialism. I'm going to use Vosh's cartoon image of himself to represent rad libs, and of course, we're going to stick with the swastika to represent the fascists. And we're going to have the 3 arrows pointed at each. And I'm going to start making these posters and giving them out, and hoping people will share them on Facebook pages. Let's make this clear.
Okay. So with Vosh, I don't really have too much to say besides. Hakeem, I don't know if you guys saw this video, but it was an absolute blowout, complete positive 100% blowout of Vosh on the top. Yeah, it was wonderful. I even made a video recommending people watch it. But with Vosh, you guys have to understand that he's streaming 5 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, and then he's got several hours of research that he has to do before then. All I'm saying is that eventually he's going to burn out. Give it like 5 or 10 years. He is going to eventually burn out and then fade into irrelevance. It's actually channels like us that are going to be the ones that have the staying power in the long term in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, he might have the better mileage, but we have the better, or he may have the better, he may have the faster car, but we have the better mileage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be here long term. I think I already did that.
Yeah.
My own horn.
Everybody still wants to see a collab with you, Jason, with Fimble and Tovic and Damien.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're busy right now.
I don't really want to watch any more PragerU. Watching the smoke from Jason's cigar is making me want to smoke a cigar. I'm not gonna lie.
I just smoked a cigarette. I still have more weed.
Yeah, now I kind of want to smoke some weed. I'm not gonna lie. Like I had my dude like offer me some bud earlier. And I don't know. I'm kind of in a mood. I'm kind of in a mood right now. Like I kind of want to get crossfaded. I'm not gonna lie. I did just polish this off. Just a heads up. This fine bottle of Yellowtail.
Well, Net and I just said that we were hungry and you're looking for a smoke. Maybe it'd be a good time to end it.
Yeah, it would. ML tube. Don't you mean beard tube? Yeah.
Hey. Uh. I think there is a thing for that, but I also think we need to give it to the anarchists too, because they're very angry at BreadTube for not being listened to, and they're wanting to get up on channels now.
What you're thinking of is BeardTube, my friend. Tovarish and Damien, Binbull, Jason, Net, me, and a bunch of other channels like Danky Kang, the Ewoks, BeardTube.
On the Ewoks, I told Phoenix Rising A7 we would like to have her.
Phoenix Rising. I'm not familiar.
She's a black anarchist. I'm not sure how to classify the gender because she goes by both her and they. And she hates Pig Puncher. Like, she really hates Pig Puncher. And I remember Kelly Seven mentioning her a lot of times. You know, she's like, "Yeah, I got good reception from her," because she'll actually talk back to the audience. She won't BreadTube people, and she's not on BreadTube. She hates BreadTube, and she likes the Ewoks. I think that there already is a sort of solidarity happening. That's really why you're being attacked, Jason. You've been the solidarity guy.
You got quiet.
It's a lot of pressure for him. He's like, "I'm just a guy on the internet. Leave me alone."
Today doesn't have any audio. I fucked up the audio again. I gotta. Oh shit! I screwed up today's video.
Yeah.
Oh, should we watch today's video before we go? Today's Jason video. I'm a big Jason Under fan.
Yeah, because there was no audio.
Yeah, there's no point. I guess we'll close here in a couple minutes. But no, it's been a lot. It has been a lot of fun though. I'm glad you guys could join me on this journey. I am going to probably do a lot of drugs after this because this is my night off. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. Is there any more shilling you guys want to do?
Okay, well, I have a tradition, and I want to start making it public as a fuck you to the right. I say to Leninist and Maoist comrades all the time, I say commies, and this is the reason behind it. My comrades, before they died, we used to joke because it was so ridiculous. We'd go, commies! One time I saw Thimble and some other people go, Jews! I'm thinking, that's what we need to start doing. Like, the Jewish people start off saying, Jews, and the communists say, commies! Because I don't know. That's how I sign off. I think that I'm very glad that you had me on here. I'm sorry that I'm really hyper lately. My anxiety is bleeding into my stress lately. And thank you for having me on. And
no, it's been a lot of fun. No, guys, check out Comrade Net at the Dream Movement. I hear my thing.
Yeah, no, and we definitely want to work with the communists. I mean, we don't always agree. I'm not gonna lie, but there's a lot more that we'd agree on than you might think. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast now. But with that being said, Jason, watching you smoke that cigar is making me want to smoke. So I'm gonna go ahead and close.
I'm hungry. I need more weed too.
I want to smoke a cigar and maybe smoke a little more wine, or smoke wine. Smoke wine. Drink more wine. Hold on.